All right.
Where did that come from?
Now what is this?
Circle?
Orange.
I am preparing my spell.
No!
Deciding
Fireball!
where to put it.
All right,
We're going
Avarn.
back to high school geometry.
Preparing my fireball. That I've been holding on to this entire time.
No, unfortunately. Okay, I think this should cover this guy and this guy, that guy, right?
What is the radius of this?
It's a 10-foot radius.
So that's not 10 feet. Oh,
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
okay. So yeah, it's 10 feet. Let me do it this way. Yep, that is 10 feet. So you have to center it around a square. So which square are you centering it around?
Well, it says a point.
A point?
So
it actually has to be a corner.
no,
then.
a point. It's centered on a point I can see.
Okay. So,
So
which-
What?
Well, I
Wait,
had it
if-
set up. Where'd it go?
Wait,
deleted it.
if that is
There we
10,
go.
then this should be a lot bigger.
It's
well,
10 radius,
I
think.
don't
10 ra-
think you can do it like you can't off center it like off to like the side of the square. You still have to center it on the middle of a square. You know. And then it goes 10 feet in each direction. So like
I
if
mean-
you would center it here. Where's my ruler? Yes.
If you really,
So if you
really,
center it
really want to
here,
be
you can go 10
nitpicky,
feet and you can like get all of these guys. But this would also get your
Enough.
guy.
but quick question, Nite.
Yeah.
If that is 10, shouldn't this be a lot bigger then? The vines, because it's 20.
Is it 20?
Yeah, my
I-
vines are 20.
Is it
Yeah,
20?
that should be bigger then.
Well, now it's I think a little too late to go back and change that, all of that.
Yeah.
So they
Well,
should have
at any
taken double damage. So they
Yeah, we
should have
just roll a
taken.
second damage, you know?
Yeah, so 44 damage, Knight! On the first one.
How many die?
Is there really no way to get rid of it? Like it's got to be there's got to be something they can do about it.
Well, it's concentration, but they don't know it's me. Like it is a trap spell. Like
Yeah.
this is literally you literally made the perfect opportunity to use this spell.
Yeah. I've never seen Spike Growth actually used in combat, and this is probably the only time I've ever seen it used. And it's perfect.
Pretty awesome.
I mean, this is like the literal reason spells like this exist. Like you
Yeah.
force someone through a choke point for guaranteed damage. Like it's got like no uses in practically any other setting other than this.
2d4
I think if they
piercing
saw that
damage.
big of a thing, they would just wait for it. But if it's small, I mean, they would probably go through it like this. So
But I think that's the point, though, right? Like this spell specifically has a perception limit that goes unrecognized.
right, but they see the guys riding through it first. You know.
I mean, if they want to wait outside, they can wait outside.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, I mean that still has tactical benefit.
10 minutes. Yeah.
Well, like I said, I think we should just keep playing it like it is here, because they would have waited otherwise, and none of these guards really have bows to do anything about it, so they could just sit outside the wall. You know.
we have
Alright,
two
well-
mages.
Well, at any rate,
we keep going with what Ivarn is doing now and how the spell is right now.
okay. So all the ones in the circle, all the ones being hit, make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay, so let me do that.
3d8.
So what happens on a fail?
Half damage.
No, that's on a success, right?
Or half damage.
sorry, yeah.
Successful.
It's 3d8.
Okay, go ahead and roll that. Okay, so half of them save. The other half takes full 13, so it's either 6 or 13, right?
Yep.
So this guy's gonna take 6. Minus 13. 6. This guy actually dies. And this guy takes 13. Okay.
And I'm going to maintain the gust of wind where it is right now. But a bunch of those guys hopefully get pushed back into the vines. And yeah, that's my turn.
All right, cool. Yeah, so that was a lot of shattering. All right, Silky.
I am going to create a flaming sphere right here.
Okay.
So I'll draw the dude. How do I get it to snap to the... Is it Alt to get it to snap? There we go.
Shift.
So that will be deck save, and if they fail, they take 2d6. I think ending its turn within 5 feet of the square, so they've got it forces movement, and I'll use my bonus action to ram it into this guy right here on stall my turn. So he's got to make his deck save now.
Okay. He's gonna roll a 19.
Okay, so I think he just takes half, so it'll be just RG6. So he takes 3.
Okay, he still dies.
Fantastic.
All right.
Smashing.
And then it's Ryda. Death saving throw, whisper it to me. And then it's Delmar.
I'm sad my meat grinder isn't working.
Is this your orange circle, is it gone now? Spiff?
Spiff just rejoined.
Is Shatter is gone. Yeah, Shatter is gone.
Yeah, that's an no.
Alright, so Delmar.
Listen up, pineapple under the sea. No, I don't want to do that. I want to... Well, this can't end good. I mean, if I heal Ryda, she's just gonna get murdered again by the guy in front of her. Like...
Probably.
Like, it's almost safer to let you be on the ground so it doesn't attack you again.
Unless he just decides to stab me anyways.
Okay, so I'm gonna move up here and I'm gonna try to drag Ryda, like, away from him.
Okay.
You could also try a medical check just to stabilize her, but leave her on.
Yeah, I just wanna, like, try to drag her there, like, behind me.
He's gonna take an opportunity attack on her as you do that.
Ugh.
Why would he waste that? Out of all the people he could do an opportunity attack on.
Oh, that's not the guy. This
That's
is
just
the
stupid.
guy. He does hit you for 41 total.
What?
You're still alive though. 'Cause you have to take
41?
triple. Yeah.
No, it's one attack.
Oh.
No, it's not his multi-attack, it's just one attack.
Yeah, it's just one attack.
Okay.
How the fuck did he do 41?
And is that
What?
like a failed death save as well?
Oh, well, yeah, yes, it is. And a failed death save. And then
Wait, what?
she doesn't make a DC save because she's unconscious. So she takes the full damage.
Yeah, but like, she took 41 damage?
Yeah, 41 damage.
How the hell did she take 41 damage?
He's a mean dude.
Yeah, but from one
He's level
attack.
20.
The poison damage is insane on him. Wait, is this even right?
No, well, poison doesn't do anything to unconscious people, does it?
It's poison damage, not...
I think any damage is damage regardless.
It's poison. Okay.
Let me check this really quick.
That feels way too much, though. They succeed by dragging her, though?
Yeah, you drag her out for sure.
Yay.
How are you not dead though?
You have to take triple your max in negative to die. Yeah, it's 7d6 poison damage on a failed save. All right.
Jeez.
He's going to go.
It's
So
hey,
you
I'm
guys-
not done.
Oh, okay.
Can you drag her further? Back to the stairs? Or something? How
Why
far
did
can you drag someone?
And it's half speed once you're moving this way, so
Okay, let's
so
see.
it takes you 25 feet to get here and another 10 to get back here.
So how the healing works for death saving throws?
It gives her a success and gives her the health. If the health brings her back above 0, she's just good. Otherwise,
Well,
it
it's
just gives her-
not.
Yeah, so otherwise it would just give her a save. What's your speed, Delmar?
30.
So to do this, you already had to double move.
Well, I dragged her behind me. Like I didn't move.
Right, but it still takes a move to drag her. Or it can take
Like
an
I-
action, but I doubt you want it to be in. So you were here, right? So to
I
get
moved
to
up
here
here.
is 25, and then to drag her out, it's another 10 feet.
Why would dragging her be movement?
Do you want it to be an action?
I mean,
You have 6 seconds to move and drag her out. I think it's 6 seconds. That's a reasonable thing. Plus, when you're dragging, I think it's in the rules that it takes double movement when you're moving.
in that case,
You can keep dragging her. Like, you can get to here.
Uh,
Actually, no. To here.
well, I'd rather use an action to drag her.
Yeah, but this
What
way
if
you're gonna
stabilized?
have... It's gonna be worse because you won't have movement left. This way you can still use your second movement, the rest of your second movement, to get back here.
Yeah, but then I have to use my. Oh yeah, it uses my action anyways, doesn't it?
Yeah,
So how far can I move then?
right here. You can get to here.
I mean,
What about stabilizing? Can you move and stabilize?
No. If he had a bonus action spell that stabilizes, yes, but
get your ass back here,
So I'm here.
yeah, you're
Yeah.
right there.
and you get a healing word.
Oh, thank you.
So you get another success. All right. He's gonna go. He's gonna step right. No, yeah.
What the fuck
He's
kind
gonna
of
attack
poison
this
is
guy,
on that
this
thing?
guy, and then this guy. So he's gonna make 3 attacks. So, 1, 2, 3. Hit, hit, hit. And then he gets his sneak attack on the first guy. So, first guy dies. Actually, on the last guy, he's gonna do it. This guy takes. He's still alive. And then the last guy takes. Still alive. Alright, Jackal goes.
He's got to make a strength save.
Yeah, strength save. He's gonna use one of his Indomitable to re-roll that. And he succeeds it.
Oh no.
And then he's gonna make 3 attack rolls.
Oh no.
And hits 3 times as well. So. All right. Hugo's gonna go.
And the Jackal's Mind Whip effect is over now.
Okay, cool. Hugo's gonna go here and attack him, the scorpion dude. Oof, critical miss. But he does hit 2 times, doing a total of 25 damage. Alright, the warriors go, so let's do the top. These guys come over here and over here and are able to kill one of these guys. And then these guys down here are going to go against the jackal. Ooh, wow, that's really good. So they actually do 50 damage to him.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Can you reach through friendlies?
Can you reach through friendlies?
I mean, let's say you have a spear, you stand there. Could you attack him through your friendly?
With a spear, yeah, but it will be at a disadvantage if you're attacking through the guy.
Okay.
Oh, that guy. That guy's gonna go over here. And
Cancel your
do
damn spell! Kidding.
All right, Pot, your turn.
Help!
So how does the stabilization work in this game? So can Delmar use medical to stabilize Raider, and then she's back to 0 or 1 or
you
something?
can take if you don't have any healing spells or whatever, you can take an action and do a medical roll. If you're not trained in medicine, then you do it at a disadvantage. And basically, if you roll good, you give her a save.
Oh, it's just a save. So
Right.
we still have to get her to positive HP.
Well, if she gets 3 saves, she is up on her feet with 1.
Oh, okay.
Oh, she is? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What about my lay on hands? How would that work? Like, let's say I just go boom, 1 point of healing.
That
Would you
gives her an
count that as a
automatic save. Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
So-
Well, I mean,
But
She
it has to be
guaranteed-
separate. Like, you can't do 3 points in one spell and like give her
No,
3. It's per spell.
but I
per
can stand
cast.
next to her with the magic fucking
Right.
thumb, just thumbing her on the forehead.
She
one
at
right
least
and next turn.
needs 2 more saving throws to
Yeah.
succeed. Like 2 more
Okay.
success. If
Okay.
if she did not get one already, but at least 2 more.
Okay, so I'm just seeing if I can get away with anything with a bonus action before I magic thumb your forehead.
Do you have a heal with a bonus action?
That's what I'm looking for. I don't think so.
Because you could use bonus action to heal her, and then you could slap her with a holy hand, and then she's up guaranteed.
No, I don't. I've got cure wounds, which is an
Yeah,
action,
that's an action.
full action. And I think my pally spells, I don't have anything there. No, I think I've just got to do that. So I guess as the bonus action, I can do the whole like I prepare in a defensive posture. And
Yes.
if I get attacked,
you can take
I
a
get
dodge action. Yeah.
Okay, well I'm going to thumb
Thumb.
Ryder,
1
lay on
point.
hands, 1 point, boom, forehead.
So I think that brings her up because that's her
Yeah.
third success. So
Oh
you're at
my
1
goodness.
right.
Gonna
Let's see.
explode.
Oh, the magic thumb.
So I have
Okay,
one
we've
hit point.
Yep.
we've got the meme.
I cough up a ton of blood.
Yeah, she's like bleeding profusely out of 2 puncture
don't-
points.
I yell, don't cough that blood up. It needs to be on the inside.
Damn idiot.
I will like gurgle back like I'm trying, but it's like muffled because there's so much blood.
Yeah. So as the bonus action, yeah, I prepare like defensive position.
Okay,
Right.
cool. The
That's
warriors
what
are gonna go. We're gonna do the people that are already inside. So the 4 up top, they have a relatively good success. They kill off these 2 guys. And then they do 25 damage to this next guy.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Not good.
Then I'm gonna do the bottom 4. They don't have as much of a success. They only kill 1 guy and do 20 to this last one. Alright, now the people in the center, the ones that are in the wind only first. So they have to make a strength save, right?
Right.
So let's roll. They fail, so they get pushed back, right? So these guys.
They get
Oh,
pushed
15
into
feet.
my spikes!
Okay, these guys die then, and then
That's
these
insane.
2 roll another spike growth.
How much?
Just roll just 1 die roll for the next batch of people that come through.
Oh, the next. But didn't these 2 get rolled, like pushed back a bit? Or
No, the 3 that got pushed back. Oh, these I didn't
Ah,
roll
okay.
these yet. I didn't roll these yet. Let me roll that.
Yeah, because they might
These
take
guys, these don't get pushed back.
more.
Because it's every movement within it, so getting pushed back
Yeah.
is like
Right.
it's like a meat grinder.
21.
21.
So these
Every
guys.
no, never mind.
No, that's total.
It's total.
Every 5 feet, they take 21 from a second level spell.
I would say it's
Hell
a
yeah.
level spell.
Well, technically they're supposed to take double, but we don't talk about that.
I'll literally wear
Okay.
like a flower headdress
But
going forward.
How did they get that far up?
yeah, they can't go that far. Them in
They
the
can only go 15 feet in that direction for their entire turn because their movement is half every step. they
They're
take
on a
towards me.
horse.
Well,
yeah,
horse
but
only
this
has
is difficult
half.
terrain. Also, it's difficult
It's also-
terrain
yeah.
plus they.
There's
so
no way
they-
they're getting to me.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Nite.
I'm looking up horse movement speed. It's 60 feet, so they have 30 feet. So they use
So
up.
15.
Hang on.
Yeah, 15.
Hang on. So through here, they use up 20 because they were here. And then what happens to them in here?
That also is half. And
Oh, it's also
technically-
halved?
Technically, if it's half in the gust of wind and halved in
Okay,
the
so
spike,
it's-
then it should be a quarter.
So it's 30 to here. And then they have 30 left, so 15 left, so they get to here. That's fine.
That's more like it.
He's going to do.
With
Uh,
2 spell systems.
And then they're going to double move, so they don't get their attack, but they do get here. All right, these guys are going to start to circumvent here,
Oh no.
and they're going to double
Circumvent, you
move
say?
to here, and
That's
then same
suboptimal.
thing to with these guys. They're going to start coming up in here, and I think at this point Hugo would shout back, "Retreat back to the staircase."
And
Ivarin,
take attacks of opportunity.
you can disengage. You can disengage and move, and then you won't take any attacks of opportunity.
Characters want to come up. Hold on. What the hell?
Hey, Dimitri, what are these?
These are stone pillars, so actually this guy can't be in there. He can be here. Because he's
No.
on a horse.
He's on a horse.
And his horse is amazing.
Look at my horse is amazing. Give it a lick. It tastes like raisins.
Okay, finally. Sorry about
What
that.
the fuck?
I had to pull up my
What?
character sheet. Okay, so we're gonna
Huh?
retreat. So I'm gonna take the disengage action then. I'm going to move back to here,
Yep.
and then let's see. I can't rotate this thing, can I?
Thank God you got a success, Ryder, because you would have been dead otherwise.
Yep.
So I do like I have to use a bonus to turn my gust of wind, So I'd like to. Let's see. Maybe if I go
Blow them
here.
all away. First we blow them, then we poke them.
So basically, I'm gonna kind of angle it this way so it's catching as many of those guys as possible. And then.
Well-
What?
If you all just run back, I can cast a new growth here.
Oh, you can do that.
Oh my
How do
god.
you rotate?
You should absolutely do that.
Just
Then
keep
just
vining
fucking
them.
run back then.
And then I do have I'm evocating savant or whatever it's called. Sculpt spells. Here we go. So I can choose a number of creatures equal to 1 spell's level to automatically succeed on their saving throws. So obviously my allies 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then DM can decide whether that guy on the bottom is caught in it or not.
Sure.
And that's my turn.
All right, cool. Silky Johnson.
All right, I am going to cast Mind Sliver at this dude right here.
Okay.
So he's got to make. Is it an intelligence save?
Yep.
Oh yeah. Okay. Cool. So, int 14 save.
All right, he fails.
All right. So he takes 2 psychic damage and takes 4 off his next save, which I will use my bonus action to move my my sphere 30 feet. Why can't I pick it up?
He actually takes 4 because he critically failed that roll.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Get wrecked, son. So I'm going to move this 30 feet and slam it to him, so he needs to make a dex save against the sphere. So dex 14 save -4.
Okay, so dexterity.
He's pulling out the Ultralisk strat.
Yep.
So he does have advantage on this, and he
Oh.
does have evasion.
Okay.
So he is going to take a quarter of the damage, I believe. Or, well, he saves. I don't know if he takes half on a save.
So he
Or
take
not at
half.
all.
So he would take quarter of.
Yeah.
So he'll take 1 extra damage.
Okay, -1. All right, he's looking pretty bad though.
Goddamn right, you little
Nice.
bitch.
He has like he's wearing like no armor, and everybody's been jabbing him, and he has like no consideration for actually
He's
getting
been
hit.
jabbing. He's been jabbing a lot of
Yeah, he's just like fucking unloading on everybody. He doesn't give a shit about getting
Jesus.
hit, but now he's actually starting to get slowed down by all the shit. All right.
Wait.
Ryda.
I would like to retreat up the stairs.
So doesn't she have to make a strength saving throw against your wind wall too?
Oh, because of sculpt spell.
He sculpted it. He expertly sculpted that spell.
Okay, got it. Okay,
There's
cool.
a Ryda-shaped hole sculpted into it.
Sure. Sounds good. All right, Ryda.
Perfect. I have to stand up, right?
Yes. Yeah, so half movement for standing up.
Okie dokie. So I have 1,
You want-
2, 3.
You want to know
4.
a funny thing about this spell right here, right now?
Not really. It's already kind of funny.
Well, they can't escape. If they want to try to run, they're gonna have to run through that.
Mhm.
I don't think they're quite ready to run yet.
Yeah. We're not trapped in here with you. You're trapped in here with us.
Yeah.
In here with us, that's for goddamn sure.
Okay, I move here, and then I'm going to use my bonus action to posture myself defensively. And as I do that, a bunch of blood spurts out of my mouth.
All right.
And that's my turn.
Keep it inside.
All right,
You
Delmar.
need that blood. Probably.
Okay, let's see. Large is 4 squares, right?
Large is 4 squares, yes.
Well, if that's the case, I am not going to turn into a spider, but it's the only one I have that looks similar. So I'm gonna turn into a mechapus.
Okay.
And
What's a mechapus's speed on land?
10.
Okay.
And then I want to slap the shit out of that guy.
Okay.
So let's see. It is the same. Where is it? Can it load, please? Okay, it doesn't want to load.
What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to load the.
Attack? Just make an attack roll /roll d20 and then
Yeah,
add
I'm
his
doing
stuff manually.
it. Yeah, I ain't hitting shit.
That is a crit fail. So, yeah,
Oops.
you are done for the turn.
I am anyways.
Yeah.
How does the
All right.
disengage work, sorry? Is it an action that you use? And then you
Yeah,
get
it's
half
an action
movement?
instead of like your attack or whatnot.
Okay. But you get full movement after the disengage action?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. All right, so at this point, trying to get a token on the board, but it's not uploading. Maybe it's a Roll20 issue right now. Well, behind you, you see Riggs appear. And she takes a quick look around and sees all of these guys. And she begins casting a spell.
Fireball, fireball.
Hold the line!
Yeah.
Tear space and time.
Meteor swarm.
Insta-kill everyone.
Yeah.
Why can't I get this token on the battlefield?
Power word win.
Power word win. I wish that was a spell.
Power word win. Power word beat the campaign. All right, so she begins casting it. This guy, the jackal, sees her casting something. He's going to take a step back, taking an opportunity attack, taking 10 damage. But he's going to take a spear off his back, and he's going to hurl it at Riggs. But as he does so, you see the spear almost start traveling in slow motion. And suddenly there's an eruption of green, yellow light from Riggs' staff. And it outstretches towards the five of you. And before you see a flash of light, she shouts, "Save us." And then you disappear.
Oh god.
Are you gonna
Oh,
send
man.
me away as a goddamn mechapus?
I was ready to
Really?
go.
We could have had this. We could have beaten these guys. We
I was
had this
ready.
on lock.
I hadn't even... I've been healing the whole time. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, I have my spells left, right? That's nice and healthy.
As we
Yeah.
disappear, I point right at the jackal and I'll say, "You're lucky she's pulling us out of here. We'll fuck you up next time." And I would like to hold on one second. I think I have. I would like to pull my single dagger from my belt, and as we are pulled into the vortex, I will throw it through the melee, burying it at his feet. And I say, or I want to land right behind him.
Okay.
And I will say, when I'm back, I will pick up that dagger by walking over your dead body.
See you
All
as
right.
a teenager in the past.
You better be able to keep promise.
This fucking
Yeah, it would
bitch.
suck if your character dies right now.
So you
Never.
reappear in the middle of a desert,
Sucks.
and you're all next to each other, the five of you, and you see well, actually the four of you, and then you see a pair of goblin feet sticking out of the sand right next to you, and you see Silky's muffled screams coming from beneath the sand, as the bottom side or the top half of his body is buried beneath the sand.
Why do I keep getting embedded in things?
Ivarin grabs one of his ankles and gives it a tug, and then says, "Nope, he's in there too deep. I'm not strong enough."
Damn. I guess we have to leave him there.
I just say move, and I take one of my tentacles and drag him.
By the way, Delmar, you get 2 inspiration from that fight, and then Rida and Ivarin and everybody else takes 1 inspiration.
I was very inspiring in how I died.
Y'all actually did kind of well on that fight.
Extremely well.
Wow, a rare compliment.
All right. So, so go ahead. You start pulling him out, and you manage to pull Silky out just fine.
I bloody hope so. The octopus is fucking strong.
She didn't happen to mention, like, when we are, did she?
No.
Okay,
I think she should save us, and that was it.
got it.
I'm just muttering to myself. We could have had that.
I'm gonna find some lonely traveler in the desert and run up to them and say, "What year is it?"
What year is it?
Well, as you say that, or as you gather yourself up, you actually hear beyond the hill where you are, kind of the sand hill, voices coming, and somebody says, "Take a look at this guy."
What?
Do
What
we
guy?
see anyone?
No, it's coming from beyond the hill, the sand hill.
And who's with us? Sorry, we've got like the whole crew.
It's just you 5.
Oh,
The important people.
okay.
I guess
This
we
guy.
should go look over that hill.
Yeah, I'll go.
It's
with you.
probably best if not a gigantic octopus shows up. So you go first.
Carefully, please. Don't be. You can avoid it.
So stealth
Yeah.
roll. Sounds like it.
like hands and knees.
Whoever is peeking over the sand dude, I'm presuming, make a stealth roll.
I guess Raider and myself. Do we both speak?
Yeah, I'll do
that's
it with
good.
my 1 hit point.
I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to do it as well.
I'll actually give you advantage on this because nobody sees you. So
Where is it? Stealth. Nice.
Oh no.
oof.
I, like-
good.
Well, I think this is a pretty easy roll as it is, and they're not looking your direction. So you actually barely managed to succeed that roll.
Nice.
And yeah, so you peek over and you see 7 of the Forsaken warriors approaching Mobius, who is still sitting calmly on his rock, just as he's never left.
Oh.
I mean, can we use him as an anchor?
A
Probably.
person? Sort of.
I guess we
Well-
just watch and see what happens, right? We're not
Well,
gonna-
this is a celestial. We'll have to remember that.
Yeah.
And the group of 7 dismounted their. Actually, one of them dismounted the horses they were on. The other 6 are still up there, and the guy just comes over like jokingly, like almost half drunkenly, and just like leans over and then snaps his fingers because Mobius is still not responding. Is still with his eyes closed, and he says,
Can I also start peeking?
"Sure, stealth roll at normal because you're an octopus."
Jesus.
A sand octopus.
He can't help
Sand
himself.
octopus. He just starts an
Sand octopus.
avalanche of sand, draws
14.
attention to everybody.
I have +5 to stealth, just saying.
Yeah, so he snaps his fingers in front of Mobius's face, no reaction, and then he just continues laughing at the guys, and then suddenly goes boo, and then no reaction, and then he's just says, we have a cool guy here, and
Oh, please! Oh, this is so bad, but yes, I want to do it. How far are they from us?
there may be like 40 to 50 feet.
In
It
that
seems-
case, And I guess to the one who said that, I want to say in his head, yes, a little bit.
He kind of stops midway and like looks at him, and he straightens up and he begins to unbutton his pants.
Well, all right.
And I go, I
cast-
wouldn't do that if I were you.
While this is all going on, I'm casting cure wounds on Radar.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
I was going to do it before you did the speaking in the mind thing because I'm like, I think she really needs Wait, why is this not? Oh yeah, cast at level 1. Submit.
Yeah, but I'm
Wow,
just gonna
I'm
follow
so
up.
good.
You're such a great healer.
Thank you.
I'm a huge healer. You know, let's use 10 of my lay on hands, so she gets 13 in total.
Thank you very much.
So I'm down to 10.
I would just like to remind everyone to check your inventory because I definitely have healing.
Oh yeah.
I
Do we have them?
definitely don't.
Okay, well, if anyone needs a potion of healing, I've got 4 of them.
What?
All right. I should remember.
So is this still unbuttoning his pants?
Yeah, he pulls him down and begins to urinate on Mobius.
But why? Like,
This
I'm
guy's
just
gonna
still gonna
die for
observe.
sure.
I'm still just observing.
Mobius remains motionless through all of this. The guy concludes his business and continues laughing and begins to pull his pants up. Still no reaction from Mobius.
So he just smells like piss now.
And there's 7 of them, you said?
Yes.
Okay.
we can take him.
The guy, he's still laughing and no reaction from Mobius. He says, oh, all right then. And he pulls out his, what are they called? The curved sword.
Cutlass?
Dead.
Scimitar?
Yeah, it's
Saber?
not a scimitar.
Kukri?
It's called something with a K. Yeah.
A kukri.
And he starts swinging at it, but mid-swing, like, he freezes. And then you slowly begin to see the moisture on Mobius begin to rise and, like, morph into this solid wedge of an object. And then
This
it
is
just...
the piss. Right?
Yes.
Just to confirm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it flings itself
piece
in
here.
straight in the middle between the dude's eyes, and he just falls over.
What a way to go.
Yeah, I think that probably was well deserved.
I just keep
At
observing.
which point the 6 other riders dismount and draw their swords and charge Mobius.
Wow, they're
sweet.
stupid.
I think we
I
should
am-
just watch this. I'm down to
Yeah.
watch this fight.
Yeah, I'm watching.
Yep.
I pull out a box of popcorn.
Yes. I summon Blinky and I'm like, take note.
Still without moving or opening his eyes, these black vines suddenly emerge from the ground and pull the guys down to the ground and into the sand and begin to drag them inside the sand.
Can I say to Mobius, you got this, I believe in you.
No response as the
Are you
6
out loud or is that?
No, in telepathically, I can't
Okay.
speak as an animal.
as the
Oh,
6 dudes get dragged beneath the sand, and then you start hearing muffled screams which slowly die out.
Wow, that's dark.
My tentacles just go like in a clapping motion. Clunk, 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 clunk.
Yvarin turns to, I don't know, whoever's right next to him and says, hey, do you think Mobius would give us those guys' outfits so we could sneak into the Jackal's hideout?
Do you think
Well,
he'll
they're
like come
currently-
with us?
They're currently in the ground. I just want to
Well,
remind
there's
you.
one, right? One left over.
Well, also, I mean, if he can drag them into the ground, he could probably spit their clothes back up.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay, so there's no more Forsaken Warriors. They're all...
Yep.
Okay.
One guy dead in front of Mobius, the rest got dragged beneath the sand.
Can I ask Mobius
Got
that? Hey, Mobius. Do we know that it's called Mobius?
Yeah.
I think we do, yeah.
Excuse me, Mobius. Could you pull them up so we could borrow the clothes?
The clothes suddenly reappear on the ground.
Awesome.
Thanks.
This guys is- You're the best, Mobius.
We love you, Mobius.
You're the best. Okay, so I guess
Hey,
I'll
do you know
start
what
moving
day
down.
it is?
Yeah. It is. Let me check my notes.
And I'm gonna stop hiding now, and I'm gonna like start slinkering up to the clothes and to Mobius.
Basically, it's the same day as the attack.
Okay, so we should just get him to come with us.
What about time of day, though? Like,
It's
I-
morning.
Yeah, so same.
So still okay. I mean, like, is it earlier or later than when the attack happened? Around the same time?
I guess a survival check.
I'm not very good at survival, but I'm good at nature. Could I use nature to observe the angle of the sun?
Sure, yeah, that works. Oof. You don't know exactly what time it is, but it is around the time that the attack happened.
Okay,
How-
close enough. That's all I wanted.
Pot was a captain in the military. Would Pot just know what time? Like, I mean, this is like fundamental week 1 basic training.
You would still have to do like a nature or survival roll.
Because Pot has 0 survival.
Um,
Like,
what about nature?
0, because it's.
I mean, I can do one.
Like, this makes no
Let
sense.
me
If you want
let me
me
see
to.
really quick. Let me see really quick.
Do you want me to do one?
Hang on one second.
No, I'm just thinking like, because Pot. I don't know.
You can
In my mind, I'm like,
you can do a wisdom throw at advantage if you like.
okay.
I mean, wisdom is survival, so it's
Yeah.
still 0.
It should still be the
0.
same. Yeah. No, it's +2 for him. Pot has +2, right?
No,
Not wisdom, no. Or charisma, and like I don't have any wisdom.
Oh, it's the saving throw that you have the +2 for. Yeah, just do a wisdom at advantage. Yeah, so you know it to be like at this point you're like it's maybe less than an hour before they attacked.
And is Mobius in the same location, like that rock or whatever it was that he was on?
Right, yep.
Well, the guys that he just killed were probably on their way to the attack.
I relay that information to the group. That's less than an hour.
I'm
before the
already
attack.
gone. I'm already up to Mobius, looking at the clothes.
Yeah, I've moved down to Mobius. Like I
Oh.
presume we're all sort of there.
Okay, idea. We grab the outfits. We run back to the prism. We take up positions behind all of the rest of the guys, like we're holding out the rear. And then as soon as the other us gets teleported, then we attack from behind, taken by surprise.
But we didn't go back in time, though, did we?
I think we did.
Mhm.
Yeah,
did.
we're an
I
hour
think we
before
did.
the attack.
Okay.
Or better yet, why don't we just attack simultaneously? Force multiplication.
Yeah.
That works too. We just got to pick our right moment. But the idea is we get in their outfits and we get behind them so they don't give us a second glance, and then we strike.
I think we're still outmanned. I think it's going to be core using the like the vines and stuff like that.
I think big area attacks would make sense.
What if we use this opportunity to go to the camp?
And do
And
what?
maybe we can find a anchor or something there.
Stronger
Yeah,
than
But
The
then
sword we
who's
already have.
but then who's gonna save the other
Yeah.
us?
I mean, how much time do we have?
An hour.
It's
I
less
don't
than
think
an
we have
hour.
much.
Yeah.
An hour.
Didn't it take us like half a day at least to get camp from here?
Mhm.
No, it's about an hour or so.
Oh, it's an hour.
Oh.
Yeah.
So we'd arrive right at the attack. So yeah, I think we go back and we help win the fight.
No, like not back to them, but if we went to forsaken camp. That'd take like right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
to the
that's
camp.
much
Yeah,
farther.
yeah, it's like
Yeah,
a couple
so-
days.
So then who saves us? Yeah. So we got. If Arn starts picking through the clothes and throwing them at, they might fit, and saying, "Here, put these on."
Excuse me, Mobius. You don't happen to know anything about a group or anything called, what was the name of it? The Infinite?
Forsaken.
The No, the
yeah.
What was the name of them? Infinite?
The
The
Infinite?
Infinite. Yeah. No, that's an excellent point.
About the Infinite or anything like that? Like a group,
He seems to be rather temporally gifted, as it were.
cult. I mean, and you know anything about it?
Hmm. Nothing that would help you at this time.
Oh,
So you
hey,
do know nothing about it.
motherfucker.
Speaking of help, Mobius, would you be able to lend us a hand? We're sort of in a bit of a pickle back at the pyramid where we're staying at the moment. Seems that these lovely fellows who tried to desecrate on you, are sort of causing us trouble as well. Would you be able to use some of your ability to help us out back there?
Make a persuasion check at advantage.
Interesting.
Nice.
Nice.
Not nice.
He says.
Just kidding.
And I have 14 charisma as well.
He says. Takes
Can
a pause.
I
and
donate my inspiration so that he can re-roll that?
Do you have 3?
Nope.
I have 1. Can
You
I use
can-
my 1 inspiration?
You can collectively donate 3. And
I mean,
have him
I'll totally
reroll.
give you one to re-roll
I'll
that.
use mine. I'll use my 1.
You need
I'll
one
give you
more.
So I need.
Okay.
Well, if he's using his one, then he doesn't need any.
No, you need 3 total to reroll.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So we need
Um,
one spell.
Yeah, I'll give you one.
Yeah, you
Alright.
can have mine too.
Okay.
Oh, the
Don't fuck it up,
inspiration. All right, so yeah, reroll. Just one,
Persuasion.
though. Yeah.
Persuasion at advantage. I'm feeling.
No, it's not
strong.
advantage. It's just one roll, so it's the first one.
I'm feeling even stronger.
Well, you got 10.
Damn it! If only it was advantage.
He takes a pause and he contemplates and eventually
have
says,
3 more?
"It help comes at a price."
What would that price be?
I will help, but I will wait for a returned favor one day.
Oh.
I
Sure.
don't mind owing this guy one.
Okay. Well, how about is that favor between you and I, and not my my party, my fellows here? That I
You
personally
5.
will return that favor.
You 5.
We collectively,
That's
the 5
fine,
of us,
I
owe
agree
you
to that.
one favor, right?
Yes.
Yeah, not 1 each.
Deal.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
So we're all happy with that. Anyone?
As long as
anyone?
one of you are alive. Yeah.
By the way,
Honestly,
Was-
you're a cool dude. We'd probably help you out anyway. So,
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Totally cool owing you a favor. Let's get moving.
by the way, was there any like loot from the bad guys when the clothes came up?
Just the clothes. Let's see.
Like
You
if
got
you,
their sick digs. What more do you want?
no, like if I just take a quick look, like I don't go like search through everything. I just like take a quick look. Do I see, see
At the
anything
pockets.
interesting?
You find like a couple of flasks, and maybe like 3 days worth of rations that were just on the clothes.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Can I? Is there blood on the sand? Like where the guys
yes. Where the guy
I-
got pierced by his own. Yeah.
So what
Yeah.
type of flasks?
They are like leather pouches.
Water skins.
Yeah, water skins. There you go.
Water skins. Okay.
Yeah.
Can I have one of those water skins just by chance? I have an idea about taking some of this sand that has the blood spilt on it caused by a celestial. Maybe we could use that as a backup anchor just in case.
How many did I
We've got
get?
nothing.
Total of 3.
Yeah, sure. Here you go. I just
Alright.
hand one over.
I collect some of the sand. There's like a little bit. This is going out of character. It's like going back on like there needs to be something like the more significant the thing is, the stronger the bond or something. I think I recall. So it's like if we have nothing to fall back on, then at least we'll have some weak thing.
Mhm.
You start to see. You're not quite sure what you're seeing, but the dude's face that's dead begins to kind of evaporate in a similar manner that the liquid did, and it basically morphs into this shiny sphere, small shiny sphere that floats towards Pot.
Weird.
Okay.
And Mobius says, use this. It will stop time briefly.
Thank you, friend.
Oh.
I take the ball. Is it a solid object? Or
Yes,
is it
it's a
liquid?
solid ball, basic, like really cool to the touch. As you touch it, it's basically like an ice cube.
Okay.
But yeah, it's maybe like a, what is it called? A billiard-sized sphere?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll put it
More
on my
timey-wimey stuff, huh?
more
All right,
timey
we
wimey.
got our time grenade.
Yeah. Yeah, so I've got that kind of like on my, I guess I've got like some form of belt or something like with some pouches and stuff, so I'll just keep it there.
Mm-hmm. Mobius remains motionless.
Much appreciated. We've got one though, guys.
Yep.
Yeah, we should
Get
go.
ready to get moving.
So, should we get moving now? Or are you gonna meet us there, or what's the plan?
That should help you
I
enough.
think this
I think that was
is
the help.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a freaking time. Come on.
All right, so you guys start.
That
Running
was a
or
bit
walking?
dense, okay.
I mean, at the
Oh.
very least, we gotta move quickly. Maybe not dead run the whole way there.
Okay,
It's like
so
a
you
long
maintain
distance
above an
shuffle.
average pace, but not quite running.
But before we go, I'm asking Mobius, how do I use the ball?
He says,
Do I throw it?
yes, just throw it.
Okay.
All right.
Thou shalt count to me.
And I say, always a pleasure, and continue with the group.
He doesn't say anything in
Are
response.
are you gonna do the whole the holy hand grenade manifesto from Monty Python before you throw the grenade?
I have to Google this.
Whoa, you're stealing his thunder. All right, so you guys are maintaining steady pace. Not quite a run, but definitely above comfort level. So I'm gonna have you roll a Constitution save for exhaustion, but you can have advantage on it.
Holy shit!
How are you rolling on these 20s today? Jesus.
What? Oh man.
Favorite.
Yeah, Ivarin is just a bookworm, so he's not really accustomed to it. So you are slowed down a little bit, and Ivarin is in the back of the group. So as you guys approach the castle, or the prism, sorry. By the way, did you guys ever put on the uniforms, or what did you do? What is the plan?
Yeah,
on
I
this?
did.
Yes.
Yeah, we've got the uniforms on.
Okay, so
I think any common sense. Yeah.
Okay, so you put on the uniforms. You start approaching the prism, and you realize that they've already attacked. So it's mid-battle.
Ooh.
And as you approach, you see the spike growth still there in the entrance.
Fucking
Great. Can we go like hop the wall or something?
I mean, it's not mine technically, so.
What point in the battle is this? Like,
So from where you are, you're not quite there yet. You also, do you want to like peek around the wall, or like what do you want to do?
Yeah, let's assess.
we
I
have
think
the
we need
battle?
to figure out exactly where we are, our battle.
So,
that we know when to strike.
actually, let's just say this: as you approach, you see the last batch of riders go through the spike grove.
Okay, is there any way that we can break your past self's concentration on that?
Well, we could hit me, but my best bet is to wait for us to be teleported, and then it will disappear, and then we can go in.
Yeah, that's smarter, definitely. Let's do that.
Or so well, I guess we would have spoken about this like on the journey or something like that. But like, what was our goal here? Were we agreeing that we attack the same time as our past selves are attacking, or are we waiting for them to?
I think we should wait until like right when they disappear.
That seems to make sense.
We don't want to see ourselves, so
Like disappear from there and then come charging through the gap in the wall from behind at the same moment.
Is this is like we've created a loop where we slowly grind the bad dudes down, where we just
Yeah.
keep like attacking, disappearing, teleporting away, coming back, attacking.
So I guess we could just like hide out like right here, and then as soon as the spike growth disappears, then we can charge in.
Yeah,
we
so
don't even have to. Like some of us can attack from range, right? So we could just.
Yeah,
start
I mean,
from
if you
the
want to
center.
just start.
there's a wall though, so yeah, I guess you could. But also,
Yeah, but like we can. The spike growth doesn't obstruct vision, so like those of us who can do like the casters can still start fucking people up now.
Mm-hmm.
all right. So as you get there, right, you look around and you see rigs and the extensions of light are like midway through reaching you guys. So it's
Let's-
mid-cast.
Oh, okay.
Let's-
So
let's-
get ready.
Let's get in there.
Yep. Let's mix it up, boys.
I still remember,
Hey,
naked
girl.
man is looking bad.
Yep.
Wait, let's see here.
I'm gonna stack up.
We're stacking up like we're breaching. All right.
Yeah, exactly.
Breach!
Flashbang!
Stack it up.
Speaking of,
I've got my hand on Raider's shoulder,
Time flashbang.
and I'm ready to squeeze for the go code.
I love it. I love
Okay,
it.
Ryda and Silky, you see the lights connect with you guys, and you slowly see each other fizzle out.
All right. I would like to take a quick shot around the corner at the jackal.
Sure, you can do that. I mean, what else? Does anybody else want to do anything?
I'm
Yeah.
gonna rush in, but I feel like Everin should go first and like throw this time grenade.
You can
thing.
throw your grenade.
Let's pot.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
time
pop-
grenade.
I wanna wolf and also charge.
Okay, so let's do the grenade first.
Yeah, I was gonna say, guys, I'm throwing a grenade. Like,
Oh yeah, I'm
Where
actually gonna
you-
wait back here when you throw that.
Chill.
What are you throwing? Where are you throwing
gonna-
it?
Well, I'm gonna
just
wait
gonna
with the
throw
wolf
it.
form.
like, I presume we've probably like I've moved up or we've traded spots, whatever, because I've let Raider know that like, hey, I'm gonna throw this thing.
Yeah, no,
around the
you should
corner.
go ahead of me.
So, I'm gonna throw it like pretty much dead bang, like here,
Okay.
in the center, center mass.
All right, so you throw the grenade or the sphere, and it impacts right, or like you throw it right as you're disappearing, basically. And this happens right as the spear is thrown at Riggs, and it hits right in front of the jackal. And as you guys, as it explodes, the old you disappear from view, and the grenade or the sphere just explodes in this yellow-green light, to a similar effect almost as when the swords collided previously, and all time just slows down to a halt. The spear just freezes right before reaching Riggs, but you feel like you yourselves can still move.
Okay, let's go.
Is this so mechanically? Is this like time stop?
Time stop, but you guys can do whatever the fuck you want.
As in, we
Awesome.
can attack them.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna start
Okay.
decapitating
Hold,
bitches.
hold on,
I'm
hold on.
Going for the
Before anyone
spear.
goes in there, I want to cast the spell.
Oh, okay, go for it.
'Cause, I mean, yeah.
Well, you
like-
better be quick because I'm charging.
All right. Well, let's see.
Keep one of them alive. Keep the jackal alive.
No.
I doubt this will drop him.
Huh?
I doubt this will drop him. So yeah, I'm gonna cast Shatter again in that area that I just marked.
Okay. Doesn't it impact your guys too?
Sculpt spell.
Okay, cool.
So they take 3d8, and I'm assuming they can't even bother to save because they can't do their time stop.
Nope. In fact, as
So-
soon as your shatter impacts, it just drops all of these guys.
Nice.
Okay, cool.
Shit.
Yep, including the jackal and the tattooed guy.
Oh,
Well,
well,
I'm just gonna waltz on over here and snap the spear in half and take it away, or just redirect it or whatever, like I snap the spear or take it away from impacting Riggs.
Okay. Yeah, so you just pick it out of the air,
Nope.
almost like an immovable rod. You just snatch and then break it over your knee.
Yep. Then I guess
I'm
we
gonna
just go to
start
town.
slicing these guys.
Yeah, let's fuck them up.
Okay, so you just go from one to the next and slice their throats or whatever.
Yep.
Alt's feeling a little cruel, so he slowly pushes his sword through their mouth.
So as you do this, you see the lights of the grenade kind of start slowly receding back, and then it speeds up just very little as they get pulled back into the spot where the sphere exploded. And it speeds up just a little bit, and you see as this happens, they're moving just barely, but it's not enough, but it seems to be moving in unison with the lights receding back towards the spot. But you have plenty of time to go around and slit all of their throats, unless you
Perfect.
want to do anything else.
I would like to tie up this guy right here.
Yeah, we should tie one up.
One of those guys.
Okay.
I'm specifically keeping one dude alive.
Okay.
And are the
it's
jackal and
fine.
the other guy are they dead or just unconscious?
They are unconscious, so they're
Okay, we
bleeding
should
out.
tie
Them
them
up
up
too,
as
yeah.
well.
Fuck the mute guy, but I think the jackal is worth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can I put a paw on this guy and just stand on him? Just yeah,
Sure.
you ain't moving, bitch.
Yeah, I'll keep these 3 on here.
Well, if we have these people, why the fuck do we need him? He's just a pawn.
Maybe they're lovers, and we can use them.
So actually, the right way to do this would probably be the spells go off and you slit their throats, but unless you actively push them down to the ground, they're actually
Standing.
they're still standing. Time is still frozen. So you slit their
Yep.
throat, but they're still in their same position.
Yeah.
And I guess you wouldn't know that these guys are unconscious. But
I mean, I would still even if they're just standing, I would still tie them up.
Yeah,
yeah.
hope they're still
standing.
alive, and tie them up so that we can capture them. And if they're dead, they're dead. But everyone else just slit their throat.
Okay, sounds good. All right. Well, the spell takes kind of forever to go to go back. Maybe
Can we-
Go ahead.
Sorry, just to interject. Can we do a short rest while this is going on? Or something?
Yeah,
Can
it actually lasts 15 to 20 minutes, so you can get your
great.
short rest in there. And
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
it gradually begins to speed up, and eventually it just snaps back in rapidly. And then all of this shit just happens, you see their throats slit and blood spurt out suddenly from where you slit their throats, and all of them drop in unison. And basically, yeah, they realize what has happened, and Jackal is visibly surprised and just falls to his knees.
That guy is dead, by the way. We don't need him.
Yeah. We just need the jackal.
And Riggs kind of snaps out of it too, looks at all these bodies just suddenly drop, and she says, "I knew that would work somehow." Begins walking down the staircase.
Nice job, team.
So I think we need to get out of here soon-ish. I don't know how.
Why
this...
do we need to get out of here?
Yeah, I think we
They're all
just
dead.
routed the entire force, right?
No, I mean the whole loop that may have been created, or did we just get?
I think we just completed it.
But did we? So this is going out of character. Did it feel? It was more like the time thing, right? We went back in time. We didn't get teleported to a
Yeah.
new location.
Mhm.
Well, both. We got teleported to a different location, and we went back in time.
Yeah. So our selves that we just saw teleport away are now watching Mobius deal with the guys.
Well, they were watching him an hour ago.
Okay. Oh yeah, true. No, you're right. We've completed the loop. Yeah.
Yep.
Sweet.
Hugo calmly retrieves his sword, although still kind of confused about what's happened. And the other dudes, visibly bleeding, just take steps back and like take a squat or a seat and just like catch their breath. The jackal just like slumps his head and just like kneels there in the middle of all you. What did you guys do with this guy?
Did we keep him alive or is he dead? I can't remember.
We
I would
tied him
vote
up and.
I think we killed everyone who can't, because the guy's mute, right? So like, what the hell's he
Oh
gonna
yeah,
tell us?
true.
Oh,
True, we did
okay,
kill him.
yeah.
And he's one of the most dangerous combatants in the fight. So like, I think
Yeah.
he needs to be gone.
Yeah.
Anyone
no,
anyone
we-
who's a potential threat. So I
Agreed.
think the only person who needs to be alive right now is the jackal.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I asked the jackal like, why did you come here? Like, why did you bring this to us?
He doesn't respond. He just looks down and looks to the side at the tattooed guy laying there motionless.
I will step in front of our friend of Pot, and I will say, remember what I said when I left, and I eye the dagger behind him. And I say, you live as long as you can tell us useful information.
He continues to stare at the tattooed guy and then slowly just shifts his gaze to you.
I pull the dagger and I slice his carotid.
Oh.
All right. He falls
And
over.
I just like wipe it off on his chest, and I'm like, all right, we
Well,
don't
that
have time
escalated
to deal
quickly.
with. We don't have time to deal with people who aren't willing to help us. And rather than the strong guy technique, I think we can just like. Well, actually, maybe I should have thought of this beforehand. Are there like clerics or casters in the prism?
Yeah, there's some kind of medics.
Like, for example, someone who casts Speak with Dead.
You probably would guess no.
Jake,
Just shrug. What's up?
I don't want to be that guy, but when you said we don't have a time for people, if there's anything we have, it is time.
more so that I'm not super interested in
I know, I know.
breaking
Getting a
this
lead.
guy.
You're
I know,
saying
I'm
this
fucking
as
with you.
like you're like huddled around this guy just bleeding out on the floor out of his neck.
Great. His last experience.
Oh, actually, yeah.
being
Can I
That's arguing
his
touch on
body.
that and say that I instead make a nick in like his femoral artery, like in his leg. So I just basically stab him like deep in his
That's-
groin,
Arguably worse.
and he starts bleeding out aggressive. So he could survive this if someone held pressure, but he's
fuck
I
is-
no, I don't know if I don't know if femoral artery
Yep.
wounds.
Nope. definitely could be survived. So like
Yeah.
I think we'd be having
He's
this conversation.
he's a
as he bleeds
doctor,
out.
so I would
Yeah, he
trust
is.
him.
Okay.
The only
think
thing
you
I
could
can
hold
think
pressure.
of is,
Yeah.
is the old man from SCP when you say that.
Yeah, no, I think my intimidation role is we are having a conversation about whether or not we should save him as he bleeds out in front of us.
Can I like use one point of lay on hands to stop the bleeding at some point, like to heal him and stop all this?
So
happening?
yeah, you can
Is it-
puncture his femoral, and if you want to stop his bleeding, yeah, he does still fall over and like passes out again though.
like someone thumbs it.
Yeah, you can thumb it.
I don't think he's gonna talk to us.
Okay, well then he's a liability.
Yeah.
We gave him I begged him to stop when he came here. Like we did no wrong by him when he showed up. Like when we got the sword from him. Like it was a transactional exchange. And now
No,
he
this
wants
is
to go back
definitely
and-
not our fault.
I know, but I just feel like there was information to be gained. Perhaps we
Definitely
could've-
there was, but I don't think he's gonna give it.
Hugo comes up and says, "Why don't we just take him prisoner in case his friends come back?"
Didn't we just kill all of his friends?
I'm sure there's more at the camp.
We killed their second in command too. We killed all of the leadership. What the hell are they gonna do?
I mean, if you guys have a super secure prison, then
We do.
I guess we could take him prisoner.
He might be useful later.
I would like to know why he's come here, and maybe he'll talk
Yeah.
after some time.
If someone heals him,
I'll do one of my lay on hands. Does that?
Yeah.
Is that?
Can I just do a little ow because I'm a wolf and I'm like, yeah, I can't heal him.
as he regains consciousness, I just want him to open his eyes, and I'm crouched down, looking directly at him. I'm just like, just know I would have let you die here, but my friends are much more farsighted than I am.
He's
I don't
barely
like
he's
glasses.
barely conscious at this point, and the two guard Hugo motions to the two guards, and they take him.
Motherfucker.
I
Is
just
he
found something
stabilized?
dirty I can do to him.
This guy's an asshole.
Is
Pour
this something you should
oil.
share with the group, Delmar?
No, like pour oil into his wounds.
Why?
God.
Had to.
Ooh.
What kind of fucking druid are you?
Yeah.
Evil
What
one.
would the oil do?
Well,
Hey,
oil in
Potions are
a human
too.
Oil on open wounds. It stings.
I think
So
he's in more
much.
pain from other stuff.
I think he'll die from the sepsis.
So I've used one of my lay on hands, and he's generally just like stabilized. Whatever. We don't have to worry about his health. moving
Yeah,
forward
he's at
now.
1 health point, it's the same as you guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
What do you
same
mean,
as us. What?
Yeah, same as us, perpetually at 1 health.
Not this time.
Going
I
against
didn't take
level
any
20.
damage that fight.
Bandits.
At this point, you also see Ozun reappear in the archway above, and he still has like a floating book in front of him, and he just barely side glances and sees all the bodies, and he says, "Well, what happened here?"
Timey-wimey shit.
I shrug and say, "Oh, they were here when we got here."
Takes another look,
I
raises the book again, and
I mean,
says
technically
okay,
the
and
truth.
turns around and goes back.
Okay, so squad, I don't really know what that was about. Can I before they take the Drackle off? Can I just rummage through all of his shit?
Yeah, you
Like,
can.
let's just,
rummage
I
through
just
his
want to like really roughly and rudely, like obviously manhandle and mistreat his possessions.
Yeah, you can take his shit.
Like whatever he's got on him, like his a drawing of his mom or just throw it over my shoulder is like useless. But if he's got anything useful on him, I want to see. if he's
He
got
has
it.
a sack on him, and he
Okay.
seems to have a lot of stuff, so you can take that if you want.
Hell yeah.
I mean,
I'm more so that I'm looking for information that perhaps he was unwilling to give us, but that might have informed as to why they decided to throw their lives away.
the only thing I want to look at is, first of all, that fucking whip thing that the tattooed guy has, because that shit's fucking ridiculous. Second of all, I wanna see if I can find something that can work as an anchor. But first of all, that fucking whip thing.
True.
So yeah, the whip is what is it called? Kaioketsu Shouj. I don't know if I'm saying that right. It's basically like a rope and with a dagger on it. And after examining it, you just see it's laced in like poison.
Nasty.
Can I try to figure out what kind of poison it is? Like I lick it a little bit, feel the taste, like yeah, this tastes like.
And I think it has blood on it.
Ugh.
You can make a nature check, I guess.
I'm ready for the 20. I
Wow.
cursed it.
11.
Um,
I mean, it's some potent ass shit because I saw it fucking annihilate my companion.
what did you roll? Sorry. Oh, 11?
11.
You're not quite sure what it is. I don't think you studied poisons that much. So yeah, you're not sure.
could we pass it around like to people here? Like generally, I'm assuming after this there's like some downtime or whatever, in between. Could we pass that around to people and sort of maybe someone might know?
Yeah, you can take some time with it.
Well, someone stole my old weapons. I want a new one.
You also find a vial of that stuff on his person.
Oh, maybe we can analyze it.
Yeah.
Yeah, or someone.
I seem to have the poison here in a vial, and I just like give the vial to someone. They want to look at it.
Silky, in the bag you find like a leather-bound journal, some papers, a pouch of coins.
Why the fuck would he have coins?
And
we've got gold.
No, we don't. You
But
spent
the
all on me.
currency's not valuable in this time, right?
yeah, no. Which is kind of curious that he had it, but it's like in a fine bag, small baggie in there. And then you also see like a carving, like a wooden carving on a necklace. And it looks like maybe like an angelic type thing, something like that.
Okay, I'll take the journal. I'm going to toss the papers to Varin. I'll throw the coins to Delmar, and the necklace to Rita.
Sure.
Before anyone does anything with that stuff, can I cast Detect Magic real quick on it?
River, good call.
It's money.
None of it is magical.
Okay.
So
cool. That
how
was a
much
ritual,
money
by
do
the
I
way.
get?
Sorry, multiple people said something.
Oh, I just said I did that as a.
Okay.
And I said how much money do I get?
You got 90 gold and 160 silver.
Nice.
Yep.
And it's all like, you notice it's all like clean, so it's not like dirty, which is even more surprising, I guess, for the time. You also find like a bunch of flasks on them, like rations for days, like the weapons, obviously, and like minor items as well, but nothing more of significant value.
Did the jackal have any interesting weapons?
No, he had the
Or-
same curved sword.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would be our rations like if we've evenly distributed stuff or whatever? We had like rations / water per day. How many days would we be at now? I was at 3 in the last.
I think
session.
you can take as many as you want. Reasonably, most people like carry like 10 to 20, like 2 to 3 weeks maybe of rations.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna
Water
take
is
20.
more different because obviously you would have huge flasks and stuff, but
I think we ended up going like, instead of keeping track of how many rations and how many liters of water or whatever.
you go by days, yeah. So
By
let's
days,
just
yeah.
say, well,
14,
I mean, 3 weeks
I'll
of
just say
water. 3 weeks of water is a lot to carry
a
on
lot.
you.
Yeah.
So I would say like 3 weeks of rations and like maybe a week worth of water, which is even that is kind of a lot. But
Wait, 3 weeks of food and 1 week of water?
yeah.
All right. Well, we don't have to clean this up, right?
Well, if you would help, that would be good, but
Oh man.
we'll eventually, I guess, clean it up.
So you want us to go shopping, cook the food, put it down in front of you, and clean the kitchen?
Well, when you put it that way,
Yes, we do.
we'll take care of it.
I'm just thinking. No.
So I guess we're just sort of like here. There's like some downtime. I'm assuming we, like, overall it's going to be like a long rest or whatever.
Did anyone identify the poison?
You can still have short rests while somebody like works with the poison and sees if they can identify it. And then the rest of you, I guess, or whoever wants to help the soldiers start they start
Yeah.
like dragging the bodies off to kind of in the distance, more into the mountains, so it's more secluded. And then they like set the remains like on fire.
Yeah.
Like,
Quick
And-
question.
hmm
Oh yeah, nothing.
So we've looted all the minions basically. We've looted the poison
Yeah.
dude, the minions.
Yeah, and you go around and you could try to identify it. You're still not quite sure, but Hugo points out that there's a guy in like one of the warriors they might know. So you bring it to them, and he helps you identify it as wyvern poison.
Nice.
Oh shit!
So, I guess once like everyone's done doing like the interim kind of stuff, I'd like to take Hugo, and go and see the prisoner with Hugo.
Okay. Yeah.
Can I get less stats for his weapon?
I believe it is a.
It's now magically on 10% durability.
It's
And
1d6 plus 6.
1d6 plus 6.
Yes. Well, actually, 1d6 plus whatever your modifier is. It's,
Yeah, I was like, is it magical or something?
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, it's 1d6.
What about the poison?
Well,
It's gotta be
wyvern
like
poison. Wyvern poison is DC 15 Constitution saving throw. On a fail, you take they take 7d6 poison, or half as much on a save.
Oh, I want to go to Silky and be like, "Hey, Silky, give me that book back."
Yeah. Right back.
Well,
Did the-
can I
Can you?
I hold on to the poison for now? No.
Is that
Um,
is that to us or?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, after what you did with the sword, I don't know if it's really good to trust you with the poison.
What do with some damn poison?
Drink it.
Yeah.
evening entertainment.
I mean, you would want me to drink it, wouldn't you?
Well, I don't think it would do anything to you, but yeah.
Yeah, it does. It's just I have advantage on the saving throw.
Time right now then to study this.
Yeah, as this is all happening, you can read through the book.
Alright,
So
okay.
you didn't give me the poison.
Straight 10.
Oh wait,
Who
you're
has the
trying to
poison?
learn the spells? Yeah, so this today, I'll say you can learn a level 2 and a level 1.
I was just looking. I mean, I actually can't really, because of this. Most of them already have, so I was just gonna go for a cantrip.
Oh, okay, yeah, but you can trade down like you would like be casting a spell. So you can use a 2 for a cantrip, or a 1 for a cantrip, or a 2 for a 1.
Right on. Okay, I'll just take the cantrip for now.
Okay.
Can I do some? If we're having downtime, can I borrow the book back and try the same thing?
Sure, yeah. Go for an Arcana. Shit.
Jesus.
Can you cast level 3s yet? I forget.
I can't.
No.
So I'd be able to learn suggestion. I think.
Yeah, you can learn like 4
Oh,
level
I forgot about
2s.
suggestion.
The only spell I don't know already is
Yeah, so you can trade down.
Could I
forgot
learn
about
suggestion and
suggestions.
a can't? Can I learn a level 2 and a level 1,
Yeah, you can trade down.
or in
Slots.
a level 0? I guess.
Yeah.
Permanently at advantage. He
Um,
knows the lines very well.
did the journal or papers end up being anything of significance? Sorry if you already mentioned it.
So the journals, the Jackal journal just seemed like a diary. And then the letters appear to be from a long time ago. Like the paper is like weathered and aged, but they all appear to be from. You figure it's like a sister or something.
Is the content valuable at all? Like, is it talking about like battle plans or people he's met, or is it just like, hey brother, how you doing? Still barbering?
It's more like the latter, yeah.
Oh. And the journal has no. If I scan through it over the course of the remainder of the day, there's nothing in it that like explains why they went aggro on us.
The latest entries talk about how an opportunity presented itself. They had you tailed to your outpost basically, and that's how they knew where you were. And then
so this literally was just like them trying to get a leg up. This wasn't like a
so you figured it was like a setup from the
like
start, like they let you go so that they could like tail you and then find your hideout and raid you. But go ahead and make an insight check for me as you're reading all this.
I would love to. Oh boy. Oof.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe you didn't even get that information. No, I'm just kidding.
Insight negative?
I mean,
Is your
can
insight
you
really
read?
negative? Oh my god.
That's insane.
That I feel like that.
He's
should not
just
be
so
surprising.
angry. He's just reading it and taking it exactly for face value. Like,
I'm just muttering to myself, God, this guy's such a fucking asshole.
this guy has like a nice letter from his sister, and he's like, "Fuck this guy. He's such a
Yeah,
fucking."
I tear it up. Piece of shit. Sister having asshole.
So I guess if everyone's done with the interim stuff, I'll talk to the hostage.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Hugo leads you down. There's a couple of guards there, and there's actually like a small prison down to the lower level, below where you all were, and like your sleeping quarters, basically the lowest level. And there's like 5 cells on one side of the room, and there's nobody else except for the jackal in there.
Jackal. Okay. So I guess Hugo and I go into the room, and I'm sort of standing I am standing in front of the jackal. What does he look like? What does he do when we come to the cell and open the cell and whatever?
He's just sitting on the directly opposite from you, and he has his elbows on his knees and is just looking down.
Oh, I think also before you go in, I will obviously tell everybody what I read in the journal. Vis-a-vis, it sounds like this was literally just an opportunity attack. Like they thought they could get us by having us tailed. This wasn't. This probably was not like a timey-wimey thing. I think this is just like barbarians thinking they had found an easy score.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, well.
So don't waste too much time with this guy.
Yeah. So wait, sorry. Catch me back up with what the notes. I was taking notes myself.
The notes were like letters from like his sister, basically just being like, "Hey brother, how's barbarian life going?"
No. You figure it predates the plague.
Oh. But it's just letters from from his family members, though, right?
Right. And
you said with that intelligence check, like I didn't find anything that was like that would tie him to our story in any way.
Yeah, actually, with that intelligence check, you probably do believe that it's like has to do with barbarian life.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll say like in character. I think it's just like letters from her family asking how life's going. So pretty much useless. But the journal article, the last entry does talk about him having us followed to the prism and figuring they could like break in and take all his shit. So I think this was essentially a attack motivated by what they perceived as an easy target. And I don't know this is necessarily tied to our whole thing.
Yeah. Okay. I guess like having known that, I'll still go and have a chat with Mr. Prison.
Mm-hmm.
And
Please, Mr. Prison is my father.
Mr. Prisoner. Sorry. It's pronounced prison. No.
So far, this entire episode, even before we got to the part about throwing him in jail, I have been just like every time I hear prism, I think prison.
Yeah.
And then like, no, wait, hold on.
Wait, are
Like,
we in a prison or a
We're
prison?
not going. We're not
Wow,
going.
they-
You're in the
Prison.
prison of the prism with the
I'm a
prisoner.
Prism.
Mind.
I'm a prisoner. Yeah,
You're the in prisoner.
imprisoner. Thank you. I don't associate with prisoners. I'm a prisoner. So I will ask him, about his tribe, basically, like or group, like the God, what are they called again? The Scorpion people, the Forsaken. Yeah, I'll just ask him, like, can you? I'll be like, so. Seems we're starting to know each other. Can you? I'd like to know a bit more about you. How. What can you tell me about the Forsaken? The people your people.
He still has his elbows on his knees, and he looks off to the side, spits a spitball half of blood on the ground,
Nice.
and then raises himself straight and like puts his head on the back wall, but doesn't respond and doesn't look at you.
So I mean, I'm just trying to work with you, buddy. Like, I mean, you're in the prison cell. At least, all my colleagues, basically just want to slit your throat. I'm here just trying to have a chat. So I don't know if you can help me out and just tell me a little bit about yourself or your people.
He's such a good negotiator. Listening at the door, like, man, that's some good cop.
The guy with the high charisma over here. He still continues to rest his head on the back and says, you killed my brother. I'm not telling you shit.
I mean, you did come
they
and
were
attack
brothers.
us.
What'd
You did
say?
attack us. I said you did attack us. I mean, we were defending ourselves. We didn't come to you. You came to us. I'm sorry that your brother, was taken out in that melee that we had. I just
He
leave it
doesn't
there.
respond.
Does Hugo say anything?
Hugo, no, he just looks at him.
I ask, does he need any water or food or anything? Would he want some water or food?
He doesn't respond. You figure it's like pretty soon after for him to like, even if he wanted to talk, he probably wouldn't.
Yeah, okay. All right, well then I'm not going to... I don't say this to him, I'm just like not going to push my luck. So I'll say, all right, well, I'll be around, and if and when you're ready to talk, then, just call out for the nice one, and I'll walk out. And I indicate to Hugo, like, let's go, kind of thing, unless he
Yeah,
has
Hugo
something
doesn't
else.
say anything. He just follows.
Okay. As I'm walking back to the group, I ask Hugo, has he had any trouble with these people before? Have you had trouble with anyone coming to this place before?
No. I mean, I've heard of them, definitely raiding and pillaging nearby, groups of people. So not many people actually come through here, but the ones that do regret it even more. Which is part of the reason why we wanted to keep this place so secret, so that groups like this aren't drawn here. And we picked one of the more, I guess, secluded places that we could get.
A wise choice.
Yeah, it was bound to happen, especially if, we came to them first, so pretty smart of them, I guess, to have you followed.
Yeah, and probably poor practice by us to be followed,
Yeah, I guess.
I have a question. So, my understanding is that we went and got the sword from our friend downstairs originally, so that we would have an anchor when we go back in time.
Yes.
as you are aware, we're not sure if it's out of character actually. We've still got the sword, but we don't know if it's the one from the past or the one from the future, right? Or have we not got the sword at all?
Well, yeah, I mean, you technically don't know which one you took. Your sword, the one you had, or the one that was there.
Yeah. Which is why we're looking for the new anchor. So I'll explain that. Well, I'll just relay that to him. Like, we have this sword. This is what happened. We're not sure if it's the sword from the past or from the future. So we're looking. We need another anchor. Does he have any ideas for us on where we could find an anchor, or whether we could make an anchor here, or
Well,
his input?
I think Riggs can probably explain it much better, but from what I understand, the stronger the anchor, the farther you can go, and the more likely you're to come back.
Okay. All right. So I guess we'll have to have a chat with Riggs then about it. And I go back to the group and I tell them everything that's happened.
Yeah, you guys are probably in the main hall where Riggs is back to her like papers on the stone slab or whatnot. So you're reunited with Hugo and
it
Pot.
feels so good.
I don't like turn the corner. I slip around the corner and reappear.
Hugo just looks at you.
Where the fuck you come from?
Yeah, so I just tell everything to the group, and that if we're looking for a new anchor, we should probably have a chat with Riggs about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that.
Sweet. So yeah, I guess we go and approach Riggs and relay. I'll relay what's happened to us in the past, and whether she has any ideas on what we could use as an alternate anchor, or whether we should not use this sword, or like get her advice and her insight into how we should proceed.
Yeah, she continues looking at the papers and writing, but she says, yeah, well, we're still ironing out the kinks. It's not... This is the first time I technically pulled off something like this, so I think it went better than it probably could have.
Yeah, we did almost die a few times. Little shaky sometimes, but
well,
I think we're getting better at this.
At least you have all your fingers. And Sheila raises her hand. That's missing like half of them.
I look at Ryder
and your
I
eyes.
shake my head.
Hey.
And my face looks like I'm sorry, but I don't say anything.
And she also continues, or your eyes, and like briefly like looks at you, but doesn't because there's a blindfold there. She says, well, we will need a stronger anchor to send you back to 2551. So eventually, we will need to do that, of course. We can't send you that far back with the sword, unfortunately. I was hoping that none of this would happen, of course. You going back and taking care of Turmo would solve the issue and fix everything, but perhaps it wasn't so simple.
All right, well, we need a new anchor, so any ideas?
Do we need one like immediately though?
We got plenty of time.
What is the risk to the anchor? Could we use Mobius as an anchor?
Well, an anchor is not necessarily an object.
Right.
It
I'm thinking about a person who appears to have temporal abilities themselves.
It doesn't necessarily have to do anything with temporal abilities or divination, or it's an object that has an object, a person, an event, or even an idea that has a significant meaning or a significant tie to a certain time period. This sword is significant because at one point it belonged to a war chief of this area that actually managed to unite quite a bit of this area. Therefore, it holds significance to a series of events on a large scale that transpired in this region. Therefore, its existence here is solidified. If we're able to find such an object is probably the simplest to manipulate and carry around. We could use it to send you farther back. If it's a stronger anchor, usually meaning more significant. Sometimes they're random, but in order for us to find them, we'll probably have to look for something that's historically or otherwise significant.
And it'll be a stronger anchor if it's significant to the time period that we're trying to travel to.
I wonder if we could
No,
move.
not
if we could go-
necessarily. It just has to be a significant object.
I wonder if we could go to the site of Solitude in this time and go to like, I don't know, the headquarters of the Magiocracy of Velen or something. Like go to like a significant landmark.
We could try that.
Part of the reason why it gets pulled back to this time is because there is another object there. Time doesn't like to have multiple anchors, the same anchor, at the same period of time.
So we need to find an object that spans back,
Yeah. That can go back
Significant.
really far.
like a crown or like a significant weapon, or
Well, funny you should mention crown. I've been doing some research into history, and I think we might have something. An idea, but we don't know if it's still there or if in fact it will be a strong anchor, or even how dangerous it will be to retrieve it.
Oh no.
Well, it sounds like the
Well.
only lead we've got, so
Yeah. It's
Tell
worth
us about it.
trying.
Well, what do you know about the kingdom of Warmindar?
Dwarves? Dwarves?
what does a 14 history check get me?
I'm just saying
Yeah,
dwarves.
so
Good question.
yeah,
Dwarves?
it's a very large kingdom of dwarves right here.
Dwarves!
And you know that it has spanned like centuries, and at one point like they conquered like half the Maros continent, and they were able, like, it was basically the strongest empire that ever existed in Maros in known history.
Okay. So we all know about it. sure?
Well, Ivarin for sure. Yeah, I would say Ivarin, and probably Delmar. And oh yeah, you would probably know it
I
from
went
your
to
like
school.
military teachings and whatnot. Yeah.
what?
So we would all at least be aware of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know of the kingdom of Warmindar, I guess. Yeah.
Mm.
And she says, well, the crown at one point was rumored to house the Rune of Valor.
Hmm.
Oh, wait.
Do we know what that means in character?
Oh.
I
mean, we
would
know that there are
say-
runes and that they're powerful.
Right.
So.
You probably don't know exactly what, but from the name you could maybe make assumptions.
Got it.
Okay, so powerful rune on a crown. Where is this thing?
It's not necessarily the rune. I don't think the rune would work as an anchor. But the crown, I think, would. Again, I don't necessarily know exactly the location, but perhaps the capital of Warmindar would be a good place to start. Deldomir?
Sure.
Oh.
And
All right, well,
right now, is it safe to assume that this is not like a functioning capital? It's probably like ruins, because most of society has like collapsed at this point.
Definitely wouldn't expect dwarves necessarily, but
Okay.
there were rumors of other creatures,
Cool.
specifically vampires.
Ugh.
What?
Okay.
Yes, the mountain range there used to be, well, still is the home. The Iron Mountains were home to the Vampire League, and now I would suspect them to have taken over the Dwarven lands, which were partially there as a gateway to keep all of their foul nature out.
Mm-hmm.
And also, who knows what could have crept in from the frozen void beyond the mountains as well.
Well, we won't know exactly what we're up against until we get there. And seeing as it's half a world away, that's going to be some logistics.
Well, we could use a similar method of displacement without temporal component.
Well,
Hot smiles and says, "Hop on." No, he doesn't.
But
yeah, we need to like unpack that.
Yeah, I haven't said anything all run.
Yeah, now that I
ignored.
think about it, what's up with that dragon boy?
What? What?
What?
What do you mean?
No,
Yeah, I
other
kind of
dragon
forgot
boy.
about that too.
Well, we've kind of been dealing with other stuff.
Yeah, so you turned into a dragon?
What? When? Is this a joke?
with Termo. Don't you remember?
You really don't remember this?
No. We're in the crystal thing, and then I
And
woke
then you were a
up
dragon.
in the rubble.
Yeah, in between those things, you were a dragon.
Okay.
In between those things.
I was a dragon. Okay. Pot like paces back because it's like a lot to take on, obviously. Like paces maybe like a few meters or let's say 10 feet away. 10 feet back. I was like, okay, what kind of dragon? Like what did I like a little
like a full-sized fucking dragon,
Full on
man.
fucking dragon, dude.
Okay.
Not like a
You
toy
literally
dragon
brought
or
the
a
house
friendly
down.
dragon. Like you went full draconic murder.
Full dragon. Sorry, never go full
You
dragon.
went full dragon, dude. We wouldn't be having this conversation if you turned into like a little like tiny like Asen-sized dragon. Like that would be kind of cute. We'd be teasing about it. You went full dragon.
Pot's not laughing, by the way. That's me. Okay, so and what happened when I turned into the dragon? Did
You just like gave
everything-
us cake and candies and wanted to snuggle. No, you attacked everyone.
I attacked everyone.
And the building collapsed.
Yeah. So you remember how we woke you up in the rubble of the building that we were just in, and how beforehand it wasn't rubble? That was
It's a
you.
bit
That's
okay.
you did that.
Okay. Okay, that's a lot of.
Let me put it this way. Your dragon ass is so fat that when you sit around the house crumbles.
Got him. Got him.
I pinch my belly. Okay, I mean, I'm gonna need. I don't know what. This is a lot to take in. That I turned into a dragon. I've never done that before.
Well,
Varn
since
gets-
you didn't remember it, you might have done it before, and you just don't remember.
That's a scary thought.
Ivarin gets a tongue depressor and starts examining Pot for signs of draconic heritage.
Tonsillitis. Yeah.
Dragon Dracolysis.
Dracolysis, yeah.
Yeah, he has dragon lice.
Well, you
Pot's like
see all
sort
the
of-
scars on his face. You also see like scales pretty much, well, not everywhere, but like on a large portion of his body.
Oh, I thought that was just acne.
Harsh.
I grew out of that stage. So Pot doesn't resist like the inspection because it's like his mind is like, what the fuck, you know, like what the hell, like I turned into a dragon. Okay.
Well, what we have here is a good old-fashioned mystery, and there's nothing I like more than a good mystery.
Yeah. But did I hurt anyone? Like,
I mean, a little bit.
like stampy, bitey.
You didn't attack anyone, I don't think. If that's what you're
Okay.
asking.
Okay. Is out of character? Is little dragon elf? I've forgotten his name.
Ozun.
Ozun. That's the one. Is Ozun here at the moment? Present?
You look around and you actually spot him in like a corner. His book still in front of his face, floating.
I go over to Ozun, and I ask, like, just to him. I'm like, I turned into a dragon. They're telling me. Can you?
The book rapidly closes, and he looks at you. You did? What kind of dragon?
I turn back around and go, what kind of dragon?
I put my arms like fully apart to indicate like large.
So a large dragon.
How large?
And
Did we get a look
stretch, I stretch ever so slightly further to indicate very large.
I crushed a building, and I'd remember how big the building was. I can't. It was like multi-story.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
described
Made
the
out of
size of the
stone.
building.
By surely existing, you crushed a building.
Did we get a look at what color dragon he was?
Oh yeah, black.
There was an image
Black dragon.
up. There's a black dragon, wasn't it?
Yeah,
It's
there's
purple.
an image in the Discord. If you scroll up, let me.
Super friendly dragon.
Super goth.
No, I remember the
Friendly-
image now.
Super goth. I'm just misunderstood, okay, guys? Just
Super awesome.
it does look cool as shit. With my giant skull.
Well,
So yeah, black dragon.
that is certainly surprising. Of course, your kind does have the ability to transform into full half dragons, but it is very rare to have a transformation into a full-grown dragon, especially one that is even bigger, as you describe.
Okay.
How did this happen? It doesn't just randomly happen.
I just turn and look at the group?
Yeah, it was
It
pretty much
It was
randomly
kind of
happened.
random.
We were encrusted in crystals, being held as prisoner.
I mean,
And
it's kind of hard to gather any data on it when it's only happened once.
Is there
Mm.
anything about where you were, or who you were talking with, or maybe a spell being cast on you? Anything?
yeah, so I explained the situation that like it was Termo, Valen, he had us held up, he was about to kill us. And then that's the last thing I remember.
Go ahead and make a history roll.
This cannot end well. Ooh,
You
lucky
do remember
13.
this symbol.
Oh.
Okay. True, I did in fact forget that symbol. So yeah, I described that symbol to him perfectly as a natural 13 would allow me to.
Most curious. And he definitely like recedes back into his mind, and like a solid 30 seconds to a minute pass by without him really responding to you, and you kind of start questioning if he's still there.
Yeah, so I turn to the group and I'm like, I like raise my hands like, I don't know. And then I sort of indicate like, do you guys want to talk to, God, I've forgotten her name as well. The little short lady with no eyes.
Oh, Riggs.
I need to write all these down. Yeah, Riggs. Yeah, if they want to talk to Riggs, and I'll wait and see what Ozun says once he comes out of his coma. But like, Pot is definitely more interested in this dragon stuff than what's
Yeah.
going on with Riggs right now.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
he's totally like, fuck the sword or crown or whatever I'm gonna get. Like I just turned into a dragon. What the hell?
All right, well, we can try to figure this out more as we go along, but apparently it has something to do with that symbol, so if you see that symbol, just don't look at it.
Oh, yep.
Yep.
Noted.
He continues, like, Ozun continues to, like, be in his trance. Like, he's just thinking, like, staring off to the side. And then he, like, snaps back rapidly after, like, 2 or 3 minutes, and he says, where were we?
The symbol, me, dragon. Big black dragon.
Ah, yes. Most curious indeed. That is the symbol of Jakar.
What's that?
Jakar.
Jakar is a true dragon.
Oh.
Mhm.
And what does that mean?
As opposed to a false.
Well, there are true dragons, and there's dragonborn. True dragons, such as myself, are able to be reborn from our.
Dude, I think
from
you're a true
ashes.
dragon.
Dragonborn have mortal lives and are only able to transform into dragons briefly, even in fact rarely, if so.
Okay, but I temporarily transformed into a dragon upon seeing the symbol.
Yes. I don't want to imply that you're a true dragon, but your connection to Jakar is definitely interesting, insofar that simply seeing his symbol caused a massive transformation that you have never undergone, let alone were aware of. Have you ever transformed into a dragon?
I have no memory of it. It's not like I even have a faint memory of this. It's just complete darkness. So
Well,
as Raider said,
you would
maybe.
normally remember if it was to a minor. So unless you always transformed into this colossal being, which would be very surprising, I doubt you would be able to survive it multiple such transformations.
it was quite painful when I woke up.
Yes, I imagine it would be.
Okay. Pot's just lost for words. Like it's just fucking, I don't know. Pot like just sits on the ground and like head in knees, like staring at the ground, like just trying to think about all this. He's just like he doesn't look sad or anything. He's just like, I think, physically exhausted from this overwhelming thing that has just happened to him. So he's just sort of sitting down calmly, but just with like, let's say, elbows on knees, with head in hands, like contemplating while sitting on the ground, just thinking.
Yeah, Ozun gives you a minute, and he kind of crouches next to you and says, I can see that this is a lot to process, but if you do find the following helpful, perhaps you would be interested in finding out more. Unfortunately, I do not know, but the Dragon Mountains are actually an imprint of Jakar. So perhaps there's something there, maybe a tomb or something to him that maybe could provide you more information, or maybe give you a lead as to why this is happening to you.
Thank you. I'll where are the Dragon Mountains?
So if you look at the map of Maros, this is the head. This is the tail.
Oh.
And these are the
okay.
wings.
Okay.
So like the whole map.
That was a dragon. Okay. Gotcha.
That's kind of cool.
Wild guess. It's going to be at the tip of the tail. I don't know why.
Reach.
Well,
We can definitely I think it seems like this symbol is somehow connected to Termo. I don't know exactly, but I'm sure that we will come across it if we continue investigating down that path. So we can keep an eye out for it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Pot's just generally a bit more solemn at the moment. He rejoins the group and sort of indicates all right, well, let's continue with what we were doing with Riggs.
Mm-hmm.
Riggs is still writing stuff.
Did Riggs look up or seem interested in what I was saying this whole time?
No, she's doing some kind of calculations and drawing stuff, scribbling.
Okay.
I'd like to approach Riggs then and ask her more about okay, so you're going to teleport us to Vorminder, right?
If that's what we choose to do. I didn't have a plan past Termo, but we need to figure out what is the best course of action here.
How would we get back from Vorminder?
Well, same way we would pull you back.
So the anchor still works.
Yes.
Okay.
How would we signal you to pull us back though? Or would it be the same situation where we would be given 1 month to figure it out?
Yes, we can plan in a time.
Okay.
Well, we've got fast travel, so we can always go back if we need to, if we run out of time.
Yeah, I agree. I think that should be our next step. It seems like a good idea to look.
So, Riggs, how long will it take you to be ready to send us on our way?
Well, I think me and Ozun could do it now. Are you ready?
Are we ready?
I
mean,
any
Go.
can,
Well,
can we blanket
hold
it?
on.
Yeah.
I mean, we definitely want to make sure that we've long rested and have supplies.
Yeah.
I guess.
So, first thing tomorrow, we'll head out. But in the meantime, yeah, I need some spell slots back and stuff.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah, definitely
well,
we should rest up and heal and then go.
whenever you guys are ready, we can send you. Meanwhile, you can, I guess, in the meantime, you can contemplate if you do want to take a different direction. I will also look at things, and getting a stronger anchor would certainly be useful, especially if it would open up more options. But there is a risk, of course. We don't even know if the crown is there.
That's true.
Well, it's the capital of a once great empire, so if the crown's not there, maybe we find some other artifact that'll work. It's as good a lead as any.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree. Pot is going to this is just fast forward the next day or however long we're there. I'm going to ask everyone if they've encountered vampires, how they've dealt with vampires. Does anyone have any advice? I'm going to resource the shit out of this place and ask them everything and anything about cold survival skills, fucking where the sun position is, so I don't have to roll check on whether it's midday or not. I'm going to resource everyone.
I'm gonna spend the evening carving wooden stakes.
So basically nobody has ever encountered a vampire, even Hugo, who has traveled quite a bit, especially during the pre-pandemic thing. the vampires were very much secluded to the Iron Mountains here. They had various castles and various families that, controlled regions of it, but they were seldom ventured outside of it, especially to the, what would this be, north? Yep. So the way this map, by the way, is actually laid out, it's a little off axis. I know I haven't added a compass rose, but basically it goes like north to south, or sorry, south to north this way.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a little slanted. Yeah, so so nobody really offers you much of advice on that. As far as like cold, they basically tell you to make sure you bundle up. Obviously, you want to stock up on like warm clothing before you go. You also probably want to have ways of like heating and cooking food in low temperatures, especially if you're gonna journey more south. So stuff like that.
Okay. Are there any books in here like that describe like vampires, whether there's like, this is just out of character, like whether there's like lesser vampires, etc., like different types, or I don't know what's in D&D, but if there's like little weak vampires, big boy strong vampires, like all that kind of stuff.
Let's do a luck roll when you can, I guess, look at the library. Just do a D100 to see what you find, if you find any.
Roll 44.
You're able to find like a book that just talks about like across races. That is not specific to vampires, but like it mentions vampires briefly. And they definitely like reinforce the idea that it's a pretty secluded society. But it actually mentions how the world is overall lucky that they are taken a home where they did, because of the presumed dangers of the unknown in the north. So they're almost like gatekeepers to protect this area. And they keep to themselves. Like, they easily have enough power to like overthrow, well, maybe not the kingdom of dwarves, but like they can like, they're very strong beings, especially like the elder, more powerful vampires that are like counts. And especially the vampire emperor is like the strongest being there is. So it's kind of like a hierarchy, almost similar to what Dragonborn have with their how like the higher tiered can transform into higher dragons and whatnot.
Okay.
So yeah, like, it's similar, except it's way more structure. It's like way more imperialistic. Like if you combine the Shen Empire and the Dragonborn Empire and added like vampire abilities on top of it, that's the vampire culture.
Cool.
Okay. So like gathering that, like it's a proper, there's a society down there. It's not like a bunch of like haunted, empty.
No, they are very.
Like there's gonna be.
Yeah, they're like very imperialistic. Like. Yeah, like fancy
it's
shit.
The vampire mafia.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like there's
I'm not
thousands. There's thousands or tens of thousands of vampires down there. Is like
probably,
in my mind.
Yeah. There's a lot.
Character.
But
and do we know? So it sounds like they're very organized. Like, do they have trade? Or because like if they're so hierarchical, then they're not just like beasts roaming the lands. And if there's a hierarchy, there must be some kind of intelligence. And if there's intelligence, I wonder if do they trade with neighboring nations?
Yeah, there is a very much of a what'd you say? the to describe them. Intelligence. You said intelligence. Yeah, there's definitely
as in
intelligence.
People like walking through the vampire nation, like merchants, wouldn't be immediately killed.
Like, are they doing trade with other?
They're definitely harder to approach. But they are very much like hoarder style, like similar to like a dragon would. Like they like shiny things, and
But they are intelligent. So as in like a merchant traveling on a carriage on a trade route through the mountains wouldn't be like immediately murdered by vampires.
From what you gathered, maybe not necessarily, but people still very seldom approach
Like
them.
why test it? But like it's not like they're all just like they're not just like vampire thralls who are mindless like animals.
Well, in fact,
They have
think
intelligence.
in fact they think they're above everybody else. So like,
which would again, so it strikes me that these guys are not ones like A, we shouldn't go with the intent of like fucking them up because it's basically starting a war with a nation.
Mhm.
And B, I think that we would not have to fear immediate and unilateral violence from a vampire we run across.
Yeah, I think we're probably going to get like most violence.
on the other side of it, just like there are like low-born, dragonborn,
Sure.
there's definitely like low-born vampires.
Like we might have to
And
fight some, but it's
to
not
the-
like we're entering a nation of the
Well,
entire nation is full of monsters. Like,
to
it
the
sounds like it'd
point
be-
where like they could be outcasts, to the point where like they're almost like mindless zombie creatures.
Sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
More of the, I guess what I'm trying to say is like it sounds like there's no more danger here than there is there. Like there's just as much likelihood that we'll meet raiders here as people who are willing to talk and be reasonable.
Mhm.
As in the vampire nation, like there's gonna be bad eggs there, but there's also like people who like are nobles and like politicians and shit.
Yeah.
Would we know like whether there's the whole like vampire curse, that kind of stuff? I don't know if that's in D&D or in this world, but would we know
no
something like that?
information about that in the book you're reading. No.
Can I get a couple stakes and a mirror, like a hand mirror, like a pocket mirror?
garlic.
Yeah, I could probably have some. Probably find something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like a little like powder mirror thing, like something I could like quickly pop open and look at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can definitely
Well, I
find
guess-
like a handheld mirror.
All my paladin skills are going to have a field day down in the fucking frozen wastes.
Well, should we do this thing?
Yeah.
If we're ready, yeah. We got all our rations and spell slots back and everything.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think we've got like cold survival stuff, things like that. Like we're a bit more rugged up, I guess, if we've got like thicker
The one
clothes.
thing I say is probably like thicker clothes is probably lacking here, because you're basically like going opposite.
Yeah.
Like, you know, what's the word for it? Not
Climate.
ecosystem. Yeah, climate.
Mhm.
Completely opposite. Like overly hot to like overly cold.
I asked Riggs, I'm like, are there any other crowns of a similar climate? You know, like on the same continent that we are.
Dude, we have fast travel. Continents mean nothing.
Well,
And also, like, are they only able to teleport us like into the mountains? Can we not get into Deldemir or go like north of Deldemir?
no, they could definitely, but it's still cold in Deldemir.
No, I mean, I feel like maybe I missed something. We've been talking about the Vampire Empire for a long time, but like, couldn't we teleport to like somewhere like just not with vampires, so we don't have to deal with them at all?
Well, you don't know if there are even vampires in Deldemir, or if they ventured out, or like what happened. Like nobody's been there. Like it's on the opposite side of the world. They have like very minimal information. All they know is like the Dwarven Kingdom fell, just like all the other kingdoms, and yeah. So, and the vampires are presumably not impacted by the plague. So,
That's convenient for them.
Mm-hmm.
How long would it take me to fly us all there if I were to be able to transform?
Probably a long time.
Maybe like, I don't know, like months.
Okay.
Maybe like a month. I don't know.
800 miles. I reckon that'd be like a day.
Riggs actually, like when you say like other grounds, she says, well, overhearing your friend over there talking about true dragons and dragonborn, maybe there is a dragonborn relic or a true dragon relic that could have a similar effect, but I don't really know of one.
Well, let's chase down the lead that we have, and then we can follow up on more Dragonborn stuff when we get back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
All right.
All right. So then you guys long rest or take the night's sleep,
Yep.
and then in the morning is that the plan?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I think so.
And
then
also,
we'll-
I'm going to spend some time tonight gathering up cold weather clothes for everyone.
If
We don't have.
there are any.
Yeah, that's what.
There aren't any?
That's
I
what I
don't
was
think
asking.
so because
yeah.
we're in the
There's
desert.
no
here.
animal
Just layer a
skins?
whole bunch of raider gear.
Basically.
That's true.
Like you can layer all of these things, but there isn't like definitely people are not wearing animal skin in the desert. The probably the warmest clothes and like the biggest layer you can find is like leather armor, without going to like metal armor, which would probably be cold as well. But yeah, like leather armor is probably the biggest layer you can find, but you can like layer on top layer or something.
All right, well, I guess we'll need to keep an eye out for any deer that we can kill and skin right away when we get there,
Yeah.
or elk or moose or
Open
something.
up
I
a
don't know.
leather working business for vampires.
There we go.
It needs to be sexier. Sexier! Even sexier!
You drain them, we tan them.
Hey, that's a good business model. Okay, so I guess in the morning, where do you guys want to go? Riggs asks you.
Maybe like outside of the city. I mean,
Approach it from the north.
yeah.
I think
So,
that's
like
probably
around here.
Yeah.
like-
There's
Well,
like an
okay.
old road that was here. The
we can
brown
march
lines
like
are
10
roads.
miles. We can probably march like 10 miles a day, right?
Yeah.
So I would say like half a day is like 5 miles north of the city.
Oh, so you probably want to be like here, then.
Just on that main road or something.
Because yeah, the distance
hills.
measurement is like accurate, so you'd probably want to be here. Because over here is like 50 miles. It's like 3 or 4 days. Actually, probably more because you have to go around here. So like
Yeah,
maybe
so,
a
like-
week's worth of travel.
So like, I don't know.
But also, do you
What about
want
this
to
coast?
risk? Do you want to risk teleporting in the mountains where there's cliffs and shit?
I
Not
don't
really,
think that's
no.
a good idea. Yeah.
So
I
yeah,
think to
maybe,
the
like-
north or like maybe northwest is the best idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in these hills here.
So this is a small mountain range. It's like the conclusion of this whole thing here. These are hills, but you would have to go around the mountains unless you want to go through them.
Well, I assume
Well, then
though,
maybe
that
we
the-
could go to the direct west, like right here.
Yeah, like maybe along this river. Still be
Yeah.
like a couple days worth of travel, but
So, well, like right in between, maybe. Yeah, like 1 day, day and a half worth of travel. That's all right.
no. Okay,
let's
so
do
like
that.
right here. I can't really mark it.
Yes.
Let me
Yeah.
see. Right here.
Perfect.
Like that.
Or not.
Yeah.
Good enough.
Somewhere in there.
All right.
It's probably not going to be too precise, anyways.
Yeah.
So
We're probably
she,
all gonna end up like clipping through the ground.
she draws her staff, and Uzun assists her in casting the spell once again. And you go through the similar tunnel of lights, and that is where we're gonna. That is where we're gonna leave off.
Another
no.
cliffhanger.
Son of a
Yeah.
bitch.
You know me, and you know I love my cliffhangers. I don't know what happened to Sui, guys. I tried messaging him, but he just dropped off. And
Yeah, maybe I think maybe his Wi-Fi crapped out.
Maybe. I mean, he's still online, but anyway, I'll find out. Hopefully, we won't have to wait as long for next session. We will definitely plan that for our viewers, and I'll probably post on my Twitter again. You guys can check out the VODs in the previous episodes on my YouTube as always, as well as this guy. Eventually, it will go up there, so check that out. Check out Spiff's channel, Orangeables. I don't know if you're still streaming, Spiff, but check him out. And yeah, we'll be back here hopefully in February. Thanks you guys for watching, and we will see you hopefully